All right, so you got to tell us now a little bit about being on The Bachelor. What was that like for you, and then what made you decide to go on the show?
The Bachelor, Bachelor in Paradise.
Bachelor, first off, where you first started.
Okay, so The Bachelor came about kind of unexpectedly. I decided it'd been about a year since my husband passed away, and I was like, okay, like I gotta get back out there, got a date. So I joined Match and went on some dates. This was in San Diego, and they were just terrible, like
Really?
terrible dates. And I'm like, this is what I have to choose from. Like, this is what's left. Like, oh my god, what am I gonna do? And I've always loved the show. Always been one of those people that gets people together to watch it. Like, I just have always loved the show. And I was joking with my friend. I'm like, gosh, I should just go on The Bachelor or something because they're already screened. We already know they're great guys. Like, I don't have to do any work.
Yeah,
I'm trying to find them. And so my friend's like, you really should do that. And I said, well, yeah, I mean, I guess why not? I mean, I never thought in a million years I would actually be casted. So I applied, and, you know, the rest is history, I guess.
Now, did you go because of Chris being there as well, or no? Like, you knew he was going to be there?
I didn't know he was the Bachelor at first. First started casting, but I was very excited when I found out that Chris was the Bachelor because he just seemed like such a genuine, good person, and that's the kind of guy that I'm looking for.
Exactly. And was he at the end of the whole experience?
Yeah. Chris was an amazing guy. He really was. I didn't have a ton in common with him, but as far as being the person I thought he was, I definitely think he's a very genuine, good guy.
And now I want to know, like, being on The Bachelor and stuff like that for Chris, do they tailor the girls being on the show towards him specifically? Do they look for requirements? Is that how that works?
I mean, I don't know exactly how the casting works, but I do know that they do. I mean, they start casting before the Bachelor is chosen, but then I think ultimately the girls that are chosen at the end are because of who the Bachelor is.
Oh, I see. Okay. And now, also, what do you think of Ben H being the new Bachelor?
Oh my gosh, Ben H is a doll. I'm so excited for him. He's such a good person. He's so sweet, just as he seems on TV. He's a really good guy. I'm excited for him.
Very excited. I know. I think everybody's excited.
Any girl's going to be lucky to be with him.
Exactly. Oh my gosh, I can't wait to see that season. Very excited. Yeah. Okay, so now tell us now a little bit about Bachelor in Paradise. What is that whole experience like for you?
Bachelor in Paradise is a roller coaster. It's just so much different than The Bachelor because on The Bachelor, it's kind of like, well, first of all, there's only one guy. They're like, okay, here, like this person, you know, and you're supposed to try to make a connection with somebody that maybe you don't have a connection, wouldn't have normally.
Right.
And then the times to see that person is so specific. It's like you're going to see him at this time. Whereas on Bachelor in Paradise, it's like just a free-for-all. First of all, there's like, you know, multiple people to choose from, which is great because you can actually, it's more like the dating world where you just see who you vibe with and then chat with them. And then if you aren't vibing, then you go talk to somebody else. So I really liked Bachelor in Paradise a lot because it was more like regular dating in the real world. With that said, I'm sure you've seen, I had quite the experience on Bachelor in Paradise. I found out that one of my so-called friends wasn't my friends, and I found out this guy that acted like he liked me really didn't and totally used me. And that was really hard for me because, you know, I did go there for love, and I left my daughter, and I really did think that something could happen. And then to find out that I was screwed over like that by my friend and then this guy, it was so hard because I'm such a trusting person. I never in a million years would think that somebody would be so malicious and cruel. And people keep asking me, well, how could you not know? And it's like, because he told me, like, I mean, why would I think otherwise? I'm not one of those girls that questions everything.
Right.
And I'm a trusting person. I don't think that's a bad thing. So,
and you know, everybody on TV can just see that you're such a sweet person, and the whole island supported you. Everybody was just all Julie, and that's a beautiful thing to have everybody have your back. You know what I mean? Other than two, but the whole island really loved you.
Yeah, I mean, these are amazing people. I am very fortunate enough to be a part of this cast just because gosh, they're all my true friends. Well, not all of them, but most of them. And I talk to them still daily, and they're great people. I'm very lucky.
Is there someone in particular you have like a close bond with in particular?
Well, as far as the girls, Carly and Jade and Tenley, we talk all the time. Especially, I talk to Carly probably the most. I just adore her. I'm gonna go visit her next month. I'm really excited to see her.
Oh.
It's sad, like, going from seeing these people every single day and spending, like, every waking moment with them, and then you don't get to see them anymore. We're all over the United States, and we're all, like, having withdrawals.
That's crazy. So tell us a little bit about, like, the island life being there. What is that like for you? The whole filming process? What goes on in a normal day?
I wouldn't say there's any normal day. I mean, literally, we would just get up, put on swimming suits, because it's like, we know we're going to go in the beach, and as you know, you have to get mic'd, because we're on a television show.
Right.
And so we automatically would just put a swimsuit on, because we didn't want to just put on regular clothes, get mic'd, eat breakfast, and then have to go back and change, get remic'd again. So we were just like, why not? Just put on a swimsuit when we wake up. So we put on a swimsuit. We would go down. I had the same thing for breakfast every single day. I had egg whites with avocado and smoked salmon and iced coffee. I loved it. It was so good. And lay by the pool. We would do interviews, obviously, hang out with the guys, go to the ocean, go back to the pool.
Literally paradise for you, right?
I mean, yeah, we just were hanging out all day, every day.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
It's not like a regular vacation because, you can't leave the area, so that was a little bit different. It's not like you can just be like, oh, I feel like going horseback riding today, or, going to town. It's like, no, you're, like, at the pool or at, in your room or at the beach, so.
Was it hard for you not having, like, any phones, anything like that, TVs? Is that difficult or not so much?
I don't think so, just because I knew what I was signing up for, and, I didn't have any of that on The Bachelor. I knew that was going to happen, and, when you do this kind of experience, you want to focus on what you're doing, which is trying to find love. So it's kind of a good thing, because it's like we have nothing else to focus on but our relationships. So, I don't know. I think it's a good thing. I obviously was able to FaceTime my daughter. I talked to her every single day. It was very important that she knew that obviously I was thinking of her. So, I was lucky and got to talk to her. But I would use, like, producers' phones. I didn't have my phone or anything.
Did everyone on the island, did they get to meet your daughter, like, FaceTiming? Like, did everyone get to talk to her, or?
Not everyone, but some of them would come and say hi to her. Mostly the girls, because they would be around when I was FaceTiming her in my room or whatever. But yeah, a lot of them got to meet her.
Oh, and then how long is the whole process to film? How long?
The entire show is 4 weeks.
4 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I see. Okay. And then tell us a little bit about your date with Mikey. What was that like, and how excited were you that he came back?
Oh my gosh. I don't know if you could see it from the look on my face. I could not believe that he had come all the way back from Chicago. I thought I was going home. And ultimately, I was ready to go home. After being screwed over like that, I just wanted to go home and see my daughter. I was just like, bye, guys. I'm out of here. But then, seeing Mikey's smiling face, and the fact that he came all the way back. He flew all the way to Chicago and then came all the way back to Mexico. So that made me feel just so good, and I wasn't sure if I had a romantic connection with him at that point, because we hadn't really, seen if we had that yet. We both knew that we cared about each other, but we were both interested in seeing if there was more. And so I was so excited to go on a date with him, and we had such a good time, and just at least getting away from, like, all the other people and all the drama. Me and Mikey were just like, let's run out of here. We're so excited. And, it was really fun. Like, probably a wrestling date's probably not my number one choice, but it was so much fun with Mikey. And the energy there was insane. And it's something I will never forget as long as I live. So, that's what life's about, is having memories like that.
It looked like such a fun date. You could tell Mikey was having a good time during the wrestling thing. He was like, yeah.
I know. I was just, like, trying to block them from, like, jumping at me. I don't know if you saw at one point, like, a guy jumped out of the ring and literally, like, spilled my beer on me, and I'm just like, oh my god, crazy.
Crazy, but that's part of the experience now, you know.
Yeah, no, it's totally great. I mean, it was so much fun. It really was.
Watch every episode each week then, live as well, right?
Yes.
Now, how do you feel about some of the behind-the-scenes interviews that you don't see that you're seeing for the first time?
Like maybe one person in particular?
Yeah, about that.
You know, that was really, really hard for me to watch because you're right. We watch it live just like everybody else. And, you know, I knew what happened from my perspective on the show. But watching it back, it's seeing everybody else's perspective and what people say behind closed doors that you don't know because they don't tell you. So seeing Joe say things like she's not very smart or not remembering my name or just saying he's going to use me to get a rose when he was telling me such different things to my face. I mean, yeah, that's really hard to watch. It's sad, and it makes me sad for humankind, to be quite honest, because I don't know how someone could treat another human like that. It's sick.
Exactly. And then also, how did you feel about his apology towards you? Do you think it was sincere?
No, I don't. I mean, he tweeted at me the day before to try to make me look stupid, which is so weird to me because I never did anything to him. I didn't do anything but go on a date with him,
Exactly.
and then he's attacking me? Like, I just don't get it.
And
it
you
makes
just got
sense.
Entangled in their whole plan.
Yeah, like,
that just an innocent bystander here.
Yes, I'm like, leave me out of this. I don't want anything to do with it.
And then Sam also on After Paradise, she said that she didn't FaceTime you and stuff like that. How do you feel about all of that as well? It's like, that being said...
It makes me just sick to my stomach. For her to act like we weren't good friends. I mean, my mom even texted me yesterday and said, I saw After Paradise. Like, is that the same Sam that you used to talk about? And I almost wanted to, like, screenshot that and show. It's like my own mom is like, that can't possibly be the same person. And I'm like, yeah, Mom, that's Sam. Like, I know, it doesn't make any sense. It's so sad. I mean, she pretty much would do anything at this point to make herself look better, including diminishing what friendship we had. And that's sad.
And you didn't notice this while on Chris's season, that she was like that? Obviously not.
No.
Not at all.
No. We're so close. We talked every day, all day. Would stay up late talking. Talked daily at some points after the show. Like, I went on 2 vacations together. I don't know who this person is. I am shocked.
And you know what's sad at the end of the day? They're not together at the end, and they both... Well, no, Joe left. So it's like, what was the whole point of the whole thing? If you know what I mean, it didn't even work out anyways, and there was no need.
And I mean, that was so shocking to me too. When she sent him home, I was flabbergasted. I'm like, all of this, and then you just send him home? Like, are you freaking kidding me? I was just as shocked as America. I mean, it's bizarre. I don't get it. I don't know what the point was. I really don't.
What do you look for in a guy in particular? Anything specific that you came in maybe looking for that maybe you found?
I mean, I would just say like a genuine good person. I really just love being nice to everyone, and I just want a partner that is the same way because I think it's really important in this life to, spread love and be kind, and I just need somebody to be a good person and honest. That's a good one. Somebody that hopefully, obviously has to like children and be good with children because I am a package deal, and I think Ireland is a wonderful gift in my life, and if a guy doesn't see it that way, then I definitely wouldn't want to be with him. And yeah, someone who makes me laugh. I love to just have fun and be goofy, and he has to be adventurous, and I love trying new things and traveling. So, just a good person that's fun and I connect with, I guess.
That's great. And we can tell you're like a very strong person, that you won't settle for anything less than what's best for you and your daughter. So that's great, because you're so a strong woman.
Thank you. I mean, I am not one of those people that needs to be in a relationship. I've been single now, for 2.5 years up until this point. And, yeah, I just want somebody that's going to fit my lifestyle and that I am happy being with. It's not I'm happy being alone until I find that
Is there
person.
any behind the scenes stuff maybe we don't know about Bachelor in Paradise that goes down? Anything kind of the inside scoop?
I mean, obviously there's a lot of things that can't be shown because there's so much hours of footage and there's only, 2 hours, well, 3 hours, I guess, a week to fit it in. So I'm sure there's a lot of things that, you didn't see that happen, but there's nothing that I can think of off the top of my head. It was probably me eating lunch or something that's not shown. Like, it's not like super exciting, which is not on the TV. So yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm sure there's going to be a bunch of deleted scenes, but I don't know.
We know you guys do your own hair and makeup. That's a fact.
I'm sure you can tell because my hair is always frizzy. I'm always like, I couldn't even put makeup on because I was sweating profusely. And it's funny, people meet me in person, they're like, oh my gosh, I feel like you're so much prettier in person. I'm like, it's because I'm not sweating and my hair is not frizzy.
It's hard being out in the open here with like humidity. How can you help that?
We didn't have air conditioning. So, and our bathroom mirror was like literally like this big.
Oh my God.
All of us share, and it was hard to do our makeup, it was hard to do our hair, and it was hard to even wear our clothes. We were sweating so much, and so if we look half decent, then we're winning because it was hard. I mean, my feet, I wear a size 6.5 shoe.
You do.
My feet swelled up so much that I put on Claire size 8
Oh
shoes.
my gosh. That's crazy.
Yeah, we were so swollen.
Oh my gosh. And speaking about your foot, tell us about the jellyfish thing.
Oh my gosh.
Oh.
I've never been stung by a jellyfish before. I guess that's a deleted scene. So you didn't see the whole thing that happened. So I got stung by the jellyfish, and actually what happened was Jorge, the bartender, ran over with this, mix of something. I think it's vinegar or something, I can't remember. Poured it on there, but still didn't really do anything. So the medic actually came over and put a shot in my foot.
Oh wow. Oh my God.
And so then it felt much better after that, but then I couldn't really walk because my foot was numb. So Mikey had to carry me up to the pool area. And that's when I was begging Tenley to pee on my foot because they were like, okay, well, I think it'd been like 2 hours at that point. And they're like, if it's still hurting, then somebody just has to pee on you. Like, that's...
Did that work? Did that work?
I mean, it felt like it, but I don't know if it was, like, in my head because I thought that was... You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, like, I feel like it did. But, I mean, the whole situation... It was weird because, like, the pain would, like, move up my leg. I don't know.
Oh my gosh.
It was not fun.
No. And how long did that take to go away?
Like half the day, probably.
Half the day.
I mean, it wasn't like, it was intense pain at first, and then I got the shot in my foot, and then it was manageable. But it was just like a dull pain. It was just kind of annoying.
Did you guys know there was jellyfish in the water?
No.
No, not so it was totally unexpected. Yeah, you didn't expect it.
Yeah, we were in the ocean all day, every day. I mean, it was funny because Tenley said right as I was getting stung, oh my God, there's jellyfish. And I was like, oh my God, I just got stung.
Oh my God.
So yeah, I don't know where those jellyfish came from because that wasn't normal there. So
wow, are there a lot of different animals there that you guys came across? They showed the crabs and everything. Yes. I mean, are they really running around?
Oh, those crabs, yes, they're disgusting. I like still like like scuttling along. It's just like I didn't like them at all. At first they were kind of cute, and then they're in the showers, they're in your suitcases, they're like, oh God, they just to me. So yeah, the crabs were just not okay. There was giant bugs. There was lizards. The lizards are obviously cute. I don't know. There's hermit crabs too.
Oh
they were around. So
see,
yeah,
they didn't say this in the description when you signed up for this.
I know. We're all like no AC and like crabs running everywhere. Oh, and there was these bugs. Like, I don't know what kind of bugs they were. Like beetle flying bugs that would just be. And they would pretend to be dead. I don't know. Like lay on the ground, and then they'd suddenly like come alive. Run. Yeah.
Oh my
so
gosh.
weird.
Now, were there a lot of the girls, a lot of them were like, like kind of freaking out? Were they okay with it?
I mean, I think we just got used to the conditions, to be honest. Like, I think at first we're like, oh God, like these bugs are so gross. But then you're just, I don't know, the longer you're there, the more you're just like, all right, whatever.
They show some snakes. Do you see snakes like around?
There's No, that was just like one snake that they keep showing.
Okay.
That I think it was a python. It was up in the
Like,
rafters,
oh
and
no.
yeah, it was huge. It was really, really big snake. But that's the only snake I ever saw.
Mhm. Oh my gosh, this is like real life living for you, just out in, you
I
know.
know, right?
That's
Like Animal
crazy.
Planet.
Now you must be feel all safe at home, like, oh, okay, I'm in air conditioned, no bugs, none of that.
You have no idea. When I got home, I was just like, oh, like even just going back to the hotel, leaving Paradise. It was just so nice to be in AC, get room service, like even
Wow.
just going to Starbucks and being able to order, what coffee you want. It just sounds silly, but it was just like, oh, yay, like real world.
Exactly. So, and then tell us, what do you do in your real life? Like, what do you do, work, anything?
So I went to school to be an esthetician. So I was starting before The Bachelor. I had to quit to go when I went on The Bachelor, and then I finished when I um, was done with The Bachelor. And then I moved to Portland right after I finished school. So I actually technically don't have my license yet because I have to go back to LA to get my license.
Mm-hmm.
So as of now, I am just being a single mommy and, doing the whole play dates every day and hanging out with Ireland. And I think it's just really important until, she goes to probably preschool next year that I just spend as much time with her as I can just because I am her only parent. So um,
Absolutely, yep.
yeah, so I'm lucky enough to not have to work right now, so I'm just spending time with her.
That's the best thing, though, to see her grow up and, like, see every moment of her life. That's the best thing. You don't want to leave her, no, no.
It's really important for me, and just to know that she is well taken care of and that her life is stable, and that's obviously really important to me, and so, yeah, we're just hanging out.
See, guys, there's a great mommy right here, and you get a daughter, too.
I know, right?
Come on. Okay, so now I want to ask you a couple Bachelor superlatives. So you're going to tell me,
Okay.
first off, who's the most funniest on the island?
JJ.
JJ. Were you
Yeah.
sad to see him leave?
Oh my gosh. So that rose ceremony when it looked like I was crying because I was going to be going home,
Mhm.
it was actually just one point that I was crying, and that's when I was watching JJ say that he was leaving. And it broke my heart because I adore JJ, and I didn't know that was happening because he was thinking he was going to give me his rose. And so he didn't tell me because he knew that I would have said no. Um, so yeah, I was crying because I didn't know he was leaving, and it broke my heart because I adore him.
I was so sad seeing JJ leave. We're like, no! So
I love that
sad.
guy. I really do. He's amazing.
It seems like he has like a great personality. Like you
He's
said,
such
really
a good
funny.
person. He's such a great guy. He's such a great dad. He's hardworking. He's just a good guy.
Good guy. See, they do gather up the good people for the show. That's good.
Yeah, I mean, I love Jared. I love Dan. I mean, there's so many good guys from the show. Tanner. Um, they did a good job of casting. I mean, Joe, maybe not so
Not
much,
so
but
much. Yeah, they gotta throw one in maybe.
yeah. And Jonathan was great.
And
Obviously,
Jonathan.
my dude was great.
Do you still talk to Jonathan at all?
Yeah, I
Oh,
do.
you do? Oh, that's good. Did you hear,
Yeah.
what is he up to now? Anything, do you know?
I mean, I don't know anything different that you guys would know of. I mean, he's just hanging out with his son and working, and yeah.
Oh, that's not, and I was gonna ask you, well, obviously not, but Joe and Samantha, do they tweet you at all during the show? Anything? Like,
Samantha and Joe did at first before they saw all the. I don't think they knew all of this was going to be aired the way that it was.
uh-huh.
Um, you mean like the scenes where you see Joe speaking really, really poorly of me, speaking poorly of Mikey, speaking poorly of Jonathan? Those moments, he wasn't in an interview. He was talking to a producer,
Mm-hmm.
and when you're talking to a producer, it's kind of like you don't think of yourself on TV because there's no way to show the conversation.
Right.
So it looks weird to the viewer. But I think that ABC chose to show those scenes because it was so important to show like what kinds of things he was saying.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, I don't think he ever thought that was going to be aired. And Samantha obviously didn't know those scenes where she's like ducking under and
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh my gosh, she didn't know she was on camera. So At first they were trying to act all innocent by, Samantha tweeted that she was sorry to me and acted like she was under the Joe spell. But now we all know, obviously she kind of was the one leading that, not Joe. So yeah, they have tweeted at me, but they have stopped.
Okay, how about most romantic on the show?
Gosh, JJ was actually really romantic. He, the first week he wanted to go on a date and he didn't have a date card, so he asked Tenley to go on a date with him, and he had dinner on the sand set up for her, and he picked her up at our room. Oh. It was so cute. I don't think you got to see that on TV, but he actually really is a romantic guy, and I thought that was really sweet. And Kirk and Tanner planned a date, a double date for Kirk, Carly and Jade, and that was really cute. And Kirk planning that fishing date for Carly was really romantic and sweet. I think there's a lot of romantic moments. I think Tanner and Jade are really romantic and sweet.
Yeah, well, we can't wait to see what else is to come on the show.
Yeah.
We can't wait.
Yeah, well, we have to wait much longer.
I know. We don't want it to end, though.
I know.
Then we're going to have withdrawals from the show. We're like, what are we going to watch?
I know, right? I know. I'm not going back to the islands. I'm sorry.
Would you do the show again if they asked you?
I hopefully will be long off married and I won't have to go on another show.
Then it's done. Now, they take a lot of Bachelor people on Dancing with the Stars. If they ever asked you to do something like that, would you do it?
Oh my gosh. I've never even considered that. Maybe. I'm not that coordinated, but that could be fun.
Yeah. Do you watch the show or keep up with who goes on there?
I do. I watched it a little bit when Chris Soules was on it, just because I knew him, but it's not like a show that I consistently watch, but I definitely tune in, if it's on the TV. I like watching it, and I love looking at the different dances and different outfits and all that.
Yeah, because that's what we're switching to now. Bachelor in Paradise, now we're going to switch to Dancing with the Stars. That's what's next.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, and then tell us who's the most fashionable on the island, as much as you can be on there.
Probably Ashley I. Yeah, I'd say probably Ashley I.
Ashley I. Okay, how about most likely to get sunburn? Who on the island would get sunburn?
Oh gosh,
the quickest?
Well, Justin got the worst sunburn ever. Literally he got there and the next day he was just a lobster. And then JJ actually got so sunburned on his shoulders that the medic had to scrape off skin.
No way.
Yeah, it was really bad. I felt so bad. I'd be like, JJ, hug him. He's like, oh my god.
Ow.
Yeah. So yeah, I would say those were the two worst ones.
Oh my gosh. And do you guys wear sunscreen or no? No,
no, we all did. There was sunscreen all around by the pool, down at the beach. I usually brought my mineral sunscreen just because I think it's better for your skin, but I don't like chemicals. So yeah, but everyone wore sunscreen for the most part, I think.
Yeah. That you say you don't like chemicals, you kind of eat healthy? I'm just thinking organic foods. Do you do that as well?
Yeah, I'm very, very healthy eater. I don't even eat dessert. I don't eat fried food. I just basically eat salad, eggs, protein bars, protein shakes.
Oh, that's
I'm a sweetener.
That's good. Okay, so no fast food then? At all?
No.
Oh, that's really good.
Yeah.
Do you teach your daughter to eat like that as well? Kind of treats like that?
Yes. Oh. Honestly, I had such a parenting win the other day. She asked me for broccoli for breakfast.
No.
I'm like, my kid asked me for broccoli.
Wow. And not even with chocolate or anything fancy on it. Nothing. Just broccoli.
I don't put salt. I don't put butter. Literally just steam it and she eats it.
That's great.
If that's all you know, why would you put all that sauce and stuff on it, you know?
Wow, that's really good. And start them from young, because I feel like as if she's taught how to eat healthy young, she'll carry it on when she's older. Right.
Yeah, because when I stopped eating ice cream and candy and all that kind of stuff, it was obviously really hard because you get cravings for it and all that. Then the longer you go without eating it, the easier it is. And now it's been so long that when I eat something sweet, I actually don't like the taste of it.